In the 1980s, André Serrano controversially won an award for this photo, a picture of Christ submerged in piss. He said he was a Christian. He defended that he never intended this work to be blasphemous, that it was a criticism of the commercialization of the image of Christ, and that when Christ died on the cross, there wasn't only blood, but also shit and piss. In this video, I want to look at the history of piss in art history. Art history, if you will. The artworks we're about to see didn't make it in the canon, either because they're profane or because they're too vulgar. We're not going to delve into the glamorous or sophisticated part of art history. We're going to take a brief look at the history of piss in art. Why? Because I find it fascinating that, though piss is a recurring thing in art history from Boucher to Rembrandt, Picasso, and Gauguin, it's one that has been ignored as a subject, but also, more interestingly, as a medium. Piss as a medium is particularly fascinating to me. By the way, before you go in the comments, yes, I got a new haircut. And yes, it does look like either Lord Farquaad or Dora. I heard them all, but you can still send those that I don't know. Oh, a Playmobil. I heard that as well. At least now people won't comment about me looking like, what's his name, Magnus Carlsen. Because now I really don't look like him. Also, I started doing art a little bit, or if you want to call it art. Here in the background, it's probably too blurry, but it's there's like a couple of words in there. It's like a word search kind of thing where you need to find some words. Anyway, go check it out. It's on Instagram, my Instagram, personal Instagram. I have the Canvas Instagram, but I also have my personal Instagram, Chanarchiste. I also did an homage to Stanchik with the figure of Stanchik with the all the text of my video essay behind it. So go check it out if you're interested. All right, back to the video, back to Pistory. By the way, also, this is not a super serious video that I'm used to doing, but we're gonna have fun. Why not? We can have fun from time to time. All right, we can start by looking at Lorenzo Lautto's Venus and Cupid, made in 1525. It's a classic Renaissance reclining nude, but Cupid, Venus's son, is shown peeing through a crown on his mother's belly. This would have been considered funny at the time, but more importantly, it would have been seen as a symbol of fertility. The cherub peeing was pretty popular in the 17th century. Even Rembrandt painted one in 1635 in The Abduction of Ganymede. Only a year later, Eustache Le Sieur painted Polyphilo at the Nymph's Bath. This painting represents a dream, and in this dream, Polyphilo is asked by nymphs to fetch water. The dream, however, turns into a nightmare as he embarrasses himself because, while he fetches water, a statue of a cherub pees on his face. The statue of a cherub peeing doesn't only exist in dreams or in paintings. They're quite popular in real life too, mannequin piss in Brussels being perhaps the most famous one. But this video isn't about little boys peeing, but about peeing in general, so we can go back to Rembrandt and look at his pissing man and pissing woman. The man pees without any shame or stress, but the woman looks over her shoulder, seemingly afraid to get caught. Over a century later, François Boucher painted A Woman Peeing. That's the title of the painting, where inside a beautiful golden frame, a woman lifts up her dress with one hand and, with the other, holds a piss pot. I'm not too sure why Boucher would paint this. Maybe it's meant to be funny, maybe it's meant to be sensual, or maybe it's a genuine attempt at showing some intimacy. Though these paintings are fascinating and do set a precedent on how urine was shown throughout art history, I'm personally more interested in looking at how artists used piss as a medium. We can start with Andy Warhol's series, Piss, Oxidation, and Cum. Out of the three, I prefer oxidation. Piss is kind of too obvious, and cum, because it turned out brown, is a bit disgusting. Even if it hadn't turned out brown, it would still be gross, but somehow it became even more repulsive. Oxidation, however, is a bit more interesting. Warhol would cover canvas with metallic paint and would proceed to pee on it, or had assistants pee on it, and the paint would oxidize to make these abstract works. There's a beauty in these works that ironically emerged from the vulgar and ugly act of peeing. We can also look at Helen Chadwick's beautiful piss flowers, which she did by peeing in the snow in Canada with her husband and using the crevasses the pee created as molds she'd fill with plaster. More on the activist side of art, which is the side I prefer, there's the artist Cassels from Montreal, that's where I'm from, who collected 200 gallons of urine over 200 days. Cassels is trans and made an exhibition out of this collection to protest against Trump in 2017, who decided to cancel a previous executive order allowing transgender students to use the bathroom of their choosing. The heavy, glowing cube of piss is unavoidable. It can't be ignored, and it points to the insane political climate we live in. There's been a bunch of other examples of the use of urine or of actual peeing, either in video art or in performances where, for example, Martin Creed peed in every corner of an art gallery. But I want to end the video with my favorite artwork, not to talk about that artwork, but to talk about the times people tried to pee on it. I'm talking, of course, of Marcel Duchamp's fountain, the upside-down urinal that changed art as we used to know it. I love this artwork and talked about it in one of my first videos, but also in a video on how to steal art, which is more about Roy Lichtenstein. In that video, I made a papier-mâché rendition of fountain. Let me go get it. Hold on. There. Oh. I don't know if I'm in focus. But yeah, I made this in 2023. How time flies when we have fun. In any case, the idea of peeing in fountain isn't really original. Brian Eno in 1990 sort of peed in it at the MoMA, but I guess the MoMA knew that that was going to happen, so they covered it with protective glass. I guess it wasn't really waterproof, however, because Eno had put urine in a tube and bypassed the casing through a crack. That's why I'm not sure it counts as urinating, as it was through a tube. You can debate that in the comments, I guess. Pierre Pinoncelli also did it in 1993 in France, and 13 years later, at the age of 76, he attacked it with a hammer. Also in 1993, Kendall Gears peed in it in Venice. Bjorn Kjeltoff in 1999 urinated in it in Stockholm, and finally, Yuan Chai and Yan Zhuji tried to pee in it in 2000 at the Tate Modern, but the museum released a statement saying that they failed because of the protective glass. In any case, I love how all these artists saw Duchamp's fountain as an invitation. Duchamp took a urinal and turned it into art by placing that object in an artistic context. Through an action, Duchamp recontextualized the object to turn it into an artwork. These artists, through their action, recontextualized that artwork to turn it back into an object. Peeing in Duchamp's fountain isn't just a prank. It's a conversation, a Dadaist conversation between the creator of fountain and the urinator. I don't know if you can say urinator, but it sounds pretty cool. I'm not really sure how to end this video or what conclusion I should give. The subject of piss is an interesting one, as we all do it, but it's also interesting because it's very taboo, and it can, especially when used as a medium, get attention and help raise awareness for different causes, especially bodily autonomy and gender dynamics. Let me know what you think. Do you find this subject interesting? Why or why not? Which piece was your favorite? I read all the comments, I promise. I really do. I don't answer to all of them. Sometimes I don't know what to say, but I do read them. It's a promise. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, Sean, I thought you were working on your fascist video or the video on fascism or whatever. I decided to make a video on piss. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. I'm still working on the fascism video. It's just taking time. So, I've been doing art. Go check it out on my Instagram. Go check out my Letterboxd, as always. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to share for now. Yeah. yeah, that's all I have to share. I've been working a lot, but not on the channel, on like other video projects, which have been a lot of fun, but also a lot very time consuming. But I'm also working on another CBC video. If you want to check out the first CBC video I did, go check out CBC Arts on YouTube. Had a lot of fun doing it. It's on Serrano, who's my favorite artist, or one of my favorite artists in Quebec. But yeah, and also go check out patreon.com/thecanvas, where you can join Roman Brandel, X-Towns Jeff, and all my other patrons who I want to thank so much for helping me make videos and enabling me to make videos on history, on art history. I really didn't know if I wanted to say art history in the video, because like, okay, I don't know if I want to lean into it being kind of a joke or not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. So thank you to my patrons. Thank you for watching the outro, as always, because I love when you do. And we'll see each other in the next video. Will it be on fascism? Probably not. Okay, goodbye.